Hey, what's up, guys? If you're wondering why the audio is a little bit different, I'm actually using my headset. Typically, I just use the webcam mic to do these kinds of videos. But I wanted to do this one on the headset because my webcam's actually tucked away, so doing it on the headset this time. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for this, and a lot of people have been wondering my thoughts on all the new cast of characters for Mortal Kombat X. So that's who I'm going to be covering. If you're curious on who I'm going to be covering, in the description, I'm going to have a list of all the characters I'm going to cover. To be honest, I am covering this based on Wikipedia, so I'm just reading. I'm just going to be reading off the characters. I'm not going to read them in any order that they were announced because there's just been so much stuff. It's so hard to keep track of what's all here. So this is just going to be a character thoughts video. Um, and I'll just give you my thoughts on the characters. I don't really know how to put this video together because there's been just so much information just in this month alone. And it's 2 weeks until the game drops, so I figured, why not do a character thoughts video? So I am going to be following Wikipedia for the characters, and I'll know the names, but this is just so I don't forget. Some of these characters we've not seen gameplay of, so honestly I can't give my opinion on the gameplay because not every character has gameplay shown. I'm not going to cover the extra fatalities that have been shown in the game. So like Sub-Zero, his fatality was revealed like the other day, and Kitana's second one was revealed sometime. So I haven't really been keeping up on the combat casts. For those of you wondering why it took me so long to make this video, I'm sure some of you guys probably stopped caring by this point, but I was very sick for a while for like the first week of March, from like March 6th till Friday the 13th. And even then I've had these cough spasms. Even last night I thought I was getting sick again, but today I feel fine, so I don't know what's wrong with me. But that's why it took so long to get this video out. So again, I'm just going to be covering the new characters that were announced pretty much in March. And some of these characters I don't even think are confirmed playable. I think it's just suspected to be playable. So I'm not really sure. They were just in the game, so I think we're just assuming that they are playable. So the information is going to be, take it with a grain of salt, and just take my opinion with a grain of salt. So I'm using Wikipedia here, so I'm just going to kind of follow it in alphabetical order. And like I said, in the description I will be putting all the characters I cover in this video. So I should have all the characters with this video covered up to date. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So Erron Black. Don't really know much about the character. I know he's like a cowboy sort of character. He's from the comics, which I unfortunately have not read. I think I even gave in one of my videos the reason why I haven't bought the comics is I wanted to wait till enough of them came out, and I honestly wanted to get them physically. Because my bank account will charge me if I don't spend more than $5. They charge me like a $2 or $3 usage fee. So I think that's terrible, So I'm gonna be paying. If I bought something for $1, it would cost like $3 or $4. It's like, why? But so yeah, Erron Black. He looks like a cool character. I don't think we've seen any gameplay for him yet. I think I saw an intro of him turning around, like he was playable. So, but I don't think we've seen any gameplay. It says here on Wikipedia, his gameplay variations are listed here: marksman, gunslinger, and outlaw. But I haven't seen the gameplay, so that's why I'm not going to talk about gameplay, because there's some of these characters that have gameplay videos and don't. But he sounds like a great character. So, Erron Black, I'm okay with. Of course, Goro, which we don't really need to talk about because there's been nothing for him other than that he's DLC. He's pre-order DLC, so I'm not going to talk about Goro because there's nothing to say. And I've already made a Goro video, so it's not really a point to talk about. No gameplay yet, so I don't know. Jacqui, which is Jacqui spelling. I'm pretty sure this is Jax's daughter. I don't know who the mother is. I don't think it's ever been explained. And I don't know if we've seen gameplay for this character. I believe some of these characters were in the story mode trailer, which I don't recall I've seen that yet. But there you go. Jacqui, again, I think it's neat, but it's kind of a cop out in a way that they're bringing these new characters in when they're bringing the old characters in as well. I don't know if you guys get the same vibe as me with that, but I don't mind having new characters, but I don't really want to see the old characters come back too, because it kind of takes a point out of putting the new characters in. I mean, I'm sure it'll have to do with the story and everything, but it just feels like I'm getting kind of, screwed over in the roster area of things. I don't want to play 2 or 3, Johnny Cage slash Sonya characters and, 2 Jax type characters. I mean, I'm sure they play different, but I don't know, that just kind of bugs me. And I've heard it's bugged a lot of other people, but there's that. Don't really have an opinion, like I said, on that character because I haven't seen anything, really. Just heard about it. So, Jax, according to Wikipedia, it says he only has one gameplay variation announced so far, which is Pumped Up. I haven't seen him in the game, but I'm sure he's okay. Jax isn't like one of my big favorite characters. I liked him in MK2, but that was about it. When he had the metal arms, I don't know. I just thought he was really cool when he didn't have the metal arms. I thought the metal arms kind of made him look like he had to compensate for his strength. While when he didn't have the metal arms, I thought he was a lot tougher. It was like, wow, this guy's so fucking strong, But with this, it's like, oh, he's got metal arms. It's like, I guess you can do more with the character, so. But, yeah, Jax, don't really have an opinion on him. Because it's just Jax. Johnny Cage, I actually like his little intros. I watched the IGN video where it has all of his little intros and the things that they say to each other. And I love that about the game. I love the fact that there's so many unique intros now rather than just the same old. Like, I think some of them in Injustice were unique, but most of them weren't. Like, most of them were just the same old thing, I think. I didn't play much Injustice, so I can't really give any input on that either. But I do have Injustice. I just haven't played it enough to be like, oh, yeah, I know this because I played it recently. I haven't. So, but I like how the characters have unique intros. Johnny Cage's are so far, I guess, the best. They're the only ones I've seen, but they're pretty comical, and it's nice so I don't have to hear the same thing over and over and over again. Johnny Cage as a character, really love him in MK1, MK2. Probably say he's my favorite, one of my favorite characters to play in MK2. Massive 3-hit combo, ball buster, kick up in the air, and then the shadow kick combo. Just crazy, like 50% damage. Awesome. In this one, I kind of still prefer his look from the older game, but I was never a fan of that Johnny tattoo. Kind of glad they covered it up a little bit in here, but yeah, he looks a little older, which is kind of strange. I don't really know how they're gonna pull some of this stuff off because, like, Sonya being dead, in the games and stuff, she's younger, so I don't really know how they're gonna pull that off. If Johnny's like in his 40s or whatever, it's just, I don't know. The characters look like they're in their 30s, but then they're like in their 40s. But Sonya gets killed off in MK9. And you even see her in the intro. And the buzzards are eating her like guts or whatever. So I don't know how they're doing the age progression thing here, but Johnny Cage, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of it, of the age progression. I don't know. It just seems kind of funny to me, but. And his variations are A-list, fisticuffs, and stunt double. So, I do love the effects in this game, like the projectiles and the other things. They just look really cool, and like when he does these 3 kicks, his feet glow. I always thought that was really cool. Apparently Kenshi's in the game. I didn't know that. Kenshi's in the game and has variation of Possessed, and the other 2 are to be announced. Don't really have much of an opinion on Kenshi. I mean, he was a cool character from Deadly Alliance. Probably the biggest fan favorite character from Deadly Alliance. But, I mean, I really don't have an opinion on him. I thought he was okay in MK9. I didn't, really love him, but I thought he was okay. In this game, I'm sure he'll be okay. And surprisingly, I didn't even know Kenshi was in here. It just says here on Wikipedia he is, so that's kind of strange. I didn't know that. Kung Jin, I believe, is a relation to Kung Lao. I don't know how he's related to him. Somebody said that it was his brother, and then somebody said it was his cousin. So, I don't know. I just read that somewhere in the comments, but I really don't know much about him. I remember seeing the new announcement for Takeda and Kung Jin, and I remember him not impressing me as much as the Takeda character. So, I don't really know what to say about him. I mean, he's got bow and arrows and stuff from what I remember. But I'm like, I don't really think he's anything special, you know. He didn't really impress me too much. And his variations are Ancestral, Bojutsu, and Shaolin. So, that's cool, I guess. Liu Kang came back, which is not really surprising. From what I understand, he also has an undead form. Somebody said that it was, oh, Quan Chi took him over or whatever, but someone else was saying that he's got like the zombie Liu Kang form. I think that'd be really cool if they brought zombie Liu Kang back, but I think from what I saw in the trailer, I don't remember what it was because it was very quick, and I think it was one of those Russian trailers. It was when it first came out, and then the Mortal Kombat page actually uploaded it. But I just remember him being in the game like, okay, I don't really care about Liu Kang too much. I really don't. I mean, he's probably my least favorite character. Not that he's a bad character, but he's just kind of cliche, you know? It's just like, doesn't really do anything for me. So, Liu Kang, it's great if you like him. Me, I could care less either way. Unless he came back as like zombie Liu Kang. That would be really cool. But I don't see him with the chains or anything, so I don't really know much about that. His variations, Flame Fist, Dragon's Fire, and Duelist. Next one was Mileena, which I like Mileena as a character. Love playing as her in MK2. MK3, she's okay, but I really like her in MK2. MK9, I didn't like how they changed the charge for the daggers for hold punch for 2 seconds and then let go. It's back forward punch. I never really cared for that. I actually prefer the charge, hold the button 2 seconds. But I still liked her in MK9. She was alright, but my favorite version of her is from MK2. Just she plays very, very well. In this version, I don't like her look that much. I mean, seriously, I swear, I thought when I first saw these pictures that they were glitches. Like, I just thought they were either really badly fan-made or it was a glitch. And I know people are like, but I like the fact that she has lips now. And I could understand if they want to make her look more realistic and not, like, stupid looking or whatever. But why couldn't you just put the sharp teeth under her lips? They're, like, on the outside of her face, and they look like they put some, like, gum line or blood line or something there around the teeth. But then it's got, like, a closed lip area. And I don't know, it just looks funny to me. Maybe you like it, and that's great. Me, I was not really a fan of the look. I like her with the mask on. You know, with the mask on, it looks great. It looks like classic Mileena. And I just really like that version. But I don't really care for the unmasked version. To me, it just looks like some glitch from Assassin's Creed Unity or something. Like, it looks... To me, it doesn't look very good. But, you know, to each their own. Her 3 variations are Ethereal, Piercing, and Ravenous. So, okay. I think there was some gameplay of Mileena, and I think I might have seen it. The fatality really didn't do anything for me, so... I mean, it is what it is, but... That was that. Let's see here, the next one. Hold on, I gotta scroll down here. Mileena, Quan Chi, Shinnok. Alright, so Shinnok's in the game. His 3 variations are Imposter, Bone Shaper, and Necromancer. He seems to look a little bit better. I don't think he looks like super amazing. I just think he looks okay. I've never really been that big of a MK4 fan or even a Shinnok fan for that matter. Really, the only character, probably the only two characters maybe I liked from Mortal Kombat 4 were Tanya and Quan Chi, and mainly Quan Chi was the big character that I really liked. But other than that, I never really cared that much, honestly, about MK4. It's actually the only one I don't own. It just didn't really impress me as much. I know that's gonna say a lot because, you know, a lot of people who seem to like it. I think the hardware for the arcade game is impressive, the Zeus hardware. But Mortal Kombat 4 never really did much for me. Even today, it just doesn't really do anything for me. Shinnok was a character in MK4 who basically replaced Shang Tsung because at the time they couldn't do the morphing, so they had him just say the powers. So it was like, or not the powers. He would say the character's name and then he'd get their powers. So he'd go Sub-Zero and then he'd throw freeze, or Scorpion, get over here, whoosh, you know, or something like that. It was just didn't really see anything impressive about the character back then, and they really never did much with him after that, other than bring him back for Armageddon. So it seems like they've done quite a bit for him here. But again, I don't think I saw any gameplay for Shinnok, so I can't really comment on his gameplay in the game. Just I saw a couple little screenshots of him, and he didn't do anything to really surprise me, but, you know, I don't hate the character either. As long as they can make the character fine, I'm okay with it. So, and I'm wondering if he'll still be the final boss. I'm not really sure. Ed Boon said it was going to be a surprise, but I think everyone's pretty much predicting it's Shinnok, so I don't know if Shinnok's just filler in the game, and then, you know, who knows what's going to happen with that. But there's Shinnok. Next one, Sonya Blade. No variations announced, so can't really comment on that. Again, this whole thing with the Cage family. I was fine with Cassie Cage being in the game, but it's kind of gotten to be overkill a little bit to have Johnny Cage and Sonya in the game as well. I mean, if they were in the story mode, that'd be one thing, but to go from story mode to being playable, and it just seems like they're kind of wasting potential slots that they could put other characters in. I think there's a lot of people who are upset that there's not these extra characters in the game, and I think some people are disappointed with that. You know, I think people are looking forward to, you know, a lot of these characters, and, you know, they're probably not going to get them because they've filled it with these other characters. So, again, Sonya, not a bad character. I don't really have much to say about her, though. You know, it's Sonya. I mean, what more can I say? Don't hate the fact that she's in it, but because Cassie Cage is in it, it's kind of like I don't really see the point. You know, I can understand bringing it back for story mode, but I don't know. I don't know. Next one was another new character, Takeda. I think he's pretty much been the fan favorite character for everybody. Everyone seems to really, really like him. He's got 3 variations, Shirai Ryu, Lasher, and Ronin. So hopefully with the factions, they'll bring in the Shirai Ryu. I think that will be really cool. This Takeda character looks pretty cool. Yeah, I like him. You know, he's probably my favorite reveal. I'd say maybe since Cassie Cage or Devora. I like this character. He's really cool. He's got some sick moves, sick fatality. Just overall cool character. And now we get to the last half of the characters, which are the Kombat Pack exclusive characters. Which, for me personally, I didn't want to get the Kombat Pack, which I'll talk about the Collector's Editions at the end and give my little opinion on that. But, just real quick, I didn't really want to get the Kombat Pack because I hadn't seen any characters that I really wanted. And seeing this, if this is all that comes in the Kombat Pack, or, you know, so far, I'm not really that impressed with these characters. If you like these characters, that's cool. For me, I mean, there's for one, there's no gameplay for any of these characters. Apparently, they're being developed, so that's cool, I guess. But I can't see pre-ordering or pre-buying something like the Kombat pack, and then okay, not only do the characters not really interest me, but I haven't seen any gameplay, so I don't even know if they're going to be any good. And I may get it at some point in the future, but for right now, I'm not getting the Kombat pack. So I really don't have much of an opinion on these characters, other than just the characters themselves. Which I could go into another 20 minutes if I wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm going to cut this video off here pretty soon, because it's already been 20 minutes. But I mean, I could go on a whole separate video itself just based on the Kombat pack, which maybe I'll do. I don't know. But for right now, I'm just going to cover the rest of the characters here. Tanya, which was a character like I said, from MK4 that I wanted to see. If we're not going to get Jade, I would like to have at least another unique female character, and I think Tanya would fill the void for Jade. So I think that's great that we're actually getting some MK4 characters, mainly because this game is supposed to be based around the MK4 timeline, and we really don't have much for MK4 characters. Quan Chi, Shinnok, and Tanya. I mean, I think that was pretty well it. So I'd kind of like to see some more MK4 characters or something similar. Even characters that were even kind of back in the day, like maybe Serena or somebody. I think that would be pretty cool. Or seeing Fujin. I'd have to say probably out of my next favorite set of characters, Fujin was probably like the next best one. And I mean, Quan Chi was my favorite for the new characters, but he's already been in the games. He was in MK9 and he's in this one, which is great. But then second best was probably like Tanya, and then third was probably like Fujin. And we don't have Fujin confirmed yet as far as when I've made this video. But Tanya, again, I'd like to see her. She looks great, I think, but I want to see how she plays, so I'm interested in that. We have Tremor next, as far as this listing goes, for Mortal Kombat characters, and then under this it'll say guest characters, so I'll cover them next. Tremor is part of the Kombat pack. Quite frankly, I'm not really a big fan of Tremor. I don't hate him or anything, but I don't really think he's anything to get hyped for, like a lot of people are doing. He was just a character, for those of you who don't know, he was just a brown palette swap ninja. He was some character in MK Special Forces. I believe he is part of the Black Dragon. I don't know. I didn't play MK Special Forces because that game's deemed as like the worst Mortal Kombat game of all time, and I just have no interest in playing it. And I don't see what the hype is for Tremor. I really don't get it. But if you like the character, that's fine. I'm just not really a big fan. I'm glad he's not taking up an actual character roster slot, and he is part of this Kombat pack. I mean, that's something, but I just really don't have an opinion on him. He looks cool, but I want to see some gameplay, so no real opinion on him yet, other than that he looks cool. Next up, Jason Voorhees. This is a character I'd like to play as. I do like the Friday the 13th movies. I do like Jason Voorhees, but if they make him end up like a crappy, slow tank character, then I'm going to be kind of upset, because even if that may fit, Jason isn't just a slow character. In the old Friday the 13th, he's a pretty quick character. You see Jason run. Even in the remake, you see him run, which, even if you don't count the remake, I think in part 3 he runs. So, he's not just this slow character, and I just want to see him be a tough character, but, kind of like Jax, a character that's not like Ferritor or Solomon Grundy, or the Incredible Hulk or something. Nothing big, bulky character that kind of moves slow, but more of a tough, big character that, is not super agile or anything, but he still has some power to him, I think they could do some really creative fatalities with Jason. I don't really have an opinion on one you could use. I don't know, because there's a lot of Friday the 13th ones you could use. I mean, just look at them. I think some of them wouldn't make any sense. They probably won't use. Like the sleeping bag one. I don't see that happening. So I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that. Maybe if his brutality was the sleeping bag thing, I think that'd be kind of interesting. Um, yeah, because if you finish the match with a throw, you do a brutality. So maybe he could like do that. Like maybe I don't know. I don't know how they would do it, but I don't really know what you could do for Jason, to be honest. So I don't really have an opinion on him. And Predator is probably my least. I know that's gonna not be popular opinion, but this is just my opinion. Again, remember this. Predator for me is probably my least favorite thing. Not because I don't like the Predator character. I haven't really seen the movies. I've only seen AVP, which is probably the worst example. I know not too many people like AVP, and I didn't even care for AVP. But the Predator, the reason I don't really care for him is because he started out as a rumor. Like, the only real reason he's even here was because it was some made-up rumor in the first place, and then everyone was going around saying Predator was in the game, and it's like they almost had to force put him in the game, it seems. And because it's Fox, they had to get the rights, because it's not Warner Brothers owned. So, if we're going to see the Predator, I think the only real redeeming thing for me, if we're seeing the Predator and you have the rights from Fox, I want to see the Xenomorph. I want to see the alien. Xenomorph from Aliens. Whatever you want to call it. Right? I want to see it. I think that would be cool. So then we could do Alien vs. Predator, and maybe even get Freddy Krueger back. And I don't want the Jackie Earle Haley Freddy. I want Robert Englund Freddy. Even if they have to rip some voices or whatever, or maybe Robert Englund come in voice. Wouldn't that be cool as shit? See Freddy Krueger versus Jason in Mortal Kombat. Predator versus Alien, or Alien versus Predator, Mortal Kombat. How cool would that be? So I hope they do that. There was also it wasn't really a rumor, but it was something that was stated going around saying Spawn's going to be in the game. That's not exactly true. I believe Todd McFarlane, I think that's the guy who created Spawn, or he draws, or whatever. I know he's an artist. Whoever it was who owns Spawn said that they could use Spawn in Mortal Kombat X if they wanted to. And I don't really have a problem with that, but I'm tired of people saying that it's confirmed when it's not. There's a lot of clickbait websites and stuff out there saying that. It's not true. There's nothing confirmed about Spawn at this point in time. It'd be cool to see the character, but again, it's not confirmed. So for anyone who's wanting to know about Spawn, or they were going to ask my opinion, I've kind of covered every character. So I know this may not have been the most interesting video because I really didn't have a lot to say. It was just giving my thoughts on all the characters, but I've been behind and busy and sick and other stuff, so I finally got this video done. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. So yeah, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. I'll probably put up some more Mortal Kombat X videos at some point. If I don't and I get busy, I'll at least put up something for when the game comes out. Maybe I'll throw up a gameplay clip or give my opinion on the game, first impressions or whatever. So if I don't see you guys until then with another Mortal Kombat X video, just want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for watching all my other videos as well. I really appreciate it. You can go in the playlist. If you're watching this, I have a playlist on my YouTube for Mortal Kombat X videos, so if you kind of want to see where the whole thing started with me, you can kind of watch those in order. I got a whole playlist if you want to check them out. If there's anything else you want to hear my thoughts on, because I've covered everything up till this point. Little videos like, oh, there's a fatality announced, whatever. I don't cover small videos like that. I want to cover something that actually has something to talk about. And with this, I've just been kind of backed up. So, again, thanks for listening to my nearly 30-minute ramble. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. I know I'm not the most interesting person in the world, but hey, that's how it goes. So, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you for the next Mortal Kombat video. Peace.